Good morning, everybody. It's Natalie, and welcome back to my bookstore. Today we have a thrilling, crime-stopping story of madness, to be honest, and people who are a little too close to superheroes to not have a super sensational story. I mean, seriously, this book is all about teenagers partnering with the FBI to solve a murder case. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? So what is the book this week? The book is Naturals, of course. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. Jennifer Lynn Barnes has entered the chat. Now, before anyone says anything, because I know last time I did a book review, I said I wasn't going to read the sequels because I will not be for Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And I will be for this book. Let me tell you something. I have already started reading the sequels. So as always, we'll do description, and then we'll do non-spoiler review, and then we'll do spoiler talk. I don't know why I was throwing the book around. Cold cases are about to get hot. 17-year-old Cassie Hobbs is a natural at reading people. Piecing together the tiniest details, she can tell who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes knocking. They begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to crack infamous cold cases. And they need Cassie. What Cassie doesn't realize is there's more at risk than a few unsolved homicides. Especially when she's sent to live with a group of teens whose gifts are unusual, just like her own. Soon it becomes clear that no one in the Naturals program is what they seem. And when a new killer strikes, danger looms close. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with the killer, the Naturals are gonna have to use all of their gifts just to survive. Alright, I know, that sounds a little intense, but I cannot tell you how well this story was done. There are so many oh my god moments in this book that it's just like, what? I know I was saying similar things about Good Girl's Guide to Murder last week, but let me tell you something. If Good Girl's Guide and the Naturals got into a fight, I think the Naturals would win. For more, if not for more manpower, then because, like, the twist? Good Girl's Guide has nothing on the Naturals twist, good lord! But they're both great books. They're both great books. Please don't take this as a diss against Good Girl's Guide, because that is a great book. But Lord have mercy if I don't read the rest of this series. Now, I have actually listened to this book. I didn't fully read it. I think I started reading it, and then I really listened to an audiobook of it, and that was a lot. I finished the book in about 2 days, to be honest with you, because the audiobook is only 10 hours long, and I can split 10 hours into 2 days pretty easily. Ooh, it is not cold enough to be wearing this heavy-ass sweater. I just love the way that Cassie sees the world and how all the characters, including the murderer at large, are just so deeply troubled and complex. This author does chemistry so well. I mean, seriously, there are characters that, like, if I saw them in real life, I'd be like, there's no way those two get along. But for some reason, she makes their connections feel so authentic and real, and I love it. I don't know how she makes this stuff feel so natural. Get it? Because the book's called The Naturals. Do you understand the joke? Is the joke funny? Alright, let's get into some characters. We're gonna do this pretty quick because we're on the clock. Cassie. Main girl Cassie. Lover. Gotta love her. Boy, does she have some mommy issues. I mean, look, if I walked into a room and saw what she saw, I would be pretty fucking traumatized too, let's be honest. But also, good God, girl, maybe go to fucking therapy. The other Naturals include Michael, Leah, Dean, and Salone. I had to look because my goddamn vanity lights are too bright for me to put on my fucking glasses while I record. So, you're gonna get Blind Natalie, because Blind Natalie is the only one who can do these fucking videos, apparently. So all of these people are just so incredibly complex with such deep backstories, and while we don't get into all of their backstories in the first book, I just fucking know they're gonna be explained in the future books, and I cannot wait any longer. Please, Spotify, give me more listening hours. I really think these characters are incredible, and I think the ways that she made them so different and yet all have such similar trauma is, I mean, really, woman, how'd you do it? Okay, I am so off track. You have two other characters that you may also want to hear about, which is the FBI agent. You have Agent Briggs and Agent Lacey. That I would tell you more about them, but to be honest, they're such a big secret that I don't really know much. But boy, do you learn quite a lot about one of them. And these characters, it is so funny having a main character who you are introduced to as someone who can read anybody. Anybody. She can read any person in the room with her, and yet you put her in a situation where she is surrounded by people who are doing everything and anything possible to make her job as hard as possible, and it is hilarious because she comes off as overpowered when you meet her, and then she is so quickly subdued that it is like, I love how she treats these characters as like on equal footing when like they're all powerful. They're all super powerful. And boy, did a lot happen in 38 chapters. Good lord. They have so much character discussion and field work going on. I mean, whew. And don't even get me started on the parts of the book that are from the killer's perspective. I can't even get into it. I have to save it for spoilers, because if I say anything, I'm gonna say everything. I mean, I'm gonna wait a while, but I'm very interested to see what this book is like on a second watch, or listen, or read. Now, there's kind of a love triangle going on. We'll address the love triangle in the room. So Cassie likes Dean, and she likes Michael. Do the boys like each other? No. It seems like they despise each other. So is it more of a love triangle or a love V? Because I'm seeing a love V, but some people would clarify this as a love triangle, and it confuses me. Get out of here. You're confusing me. And I love it, because everybody is just the complete opposite of each other. Michael is just privileged white boy energy who thinks he can get anything he wants. And then you have Dean, troubled bad boy Dean, who is just doing his goddamn best not to hurt anybody. Which is really hard for things I shall not mention. But, and when I say troubled, I mean both of these characters are troubled, alright? They have disturbing backstories. I will let you know. They are both disturbing, and I do not like any of their parents. All of their parents can go straight to hell. So the FBI. The FBI is just this thing in this book. I mean, it's kind of the whole thing of the book, the FBI. But what does the FBI do in this book? The FBI has decided to get these group of teenagers who might as well have superpowers and say, well, you'll be living together for a little while and solve all these cold cases so we can deal with your parents, who are all various levels of troubling, and solve these cold cases for us. But little do they know that there is a serial killer on the loose who has taken notice of these teenagers that the FBI is holding in a house somewhere random in the States. And what does this killer do? They have decided that these, again, teenagers are a little too important. So you can guess how things go wrong from there. But honestly, I love this book so much, and I'm so happy I get to read the sequels. And that being said, it's spoiler time. So here's the siren, here's the time code, and yeah. Guys, let's get into some spoilers about this awesome book. That time code, by the way, is for in case you want to go watch more about the author. If not, maybe go watch The Good Girl's Guide to Murder book review. I think you'll enjoy it. Are they gone? Good. Let's get into it. So this book, am I right? Holy hell, can we talk about Lacey Locke? Or should I call her Lacey Locke? Because she is, in fact, not Lacey Locke. I feel like she was so under the radar the whole time. She's there the whole time, and yet you never suspect her of anything. Because why would you? Because Lacey Locke doesn't cause trouble. Lacey Locke is teaching Cassie and Dean how to do that f***ing job. She is an enigma. Cause like, how is she the killer? But also, it totally makes sense that she is the killer. I mean, here's the thing. I should have known Lacey was the killer the minute that I connected that Lacey always calls the killer in her brain you, and the fact that all of the killer's memoirs in the book go through third person. As soon as I should have got those two together, I should have realized it, but I didn't. I thought it was an artistic choice, and I absolutely love that twist. It was such a good twist, and I was listening to the audiobook version, so when the moment came with Michael and she got shot and you're wondering who it is, the audiobook version distinguishes Lacey Locke's voice, so I knew it was Lacey Locke before the book stated it was Lacey Locke, and that made it so much cooler. It was literally just the coolest thing ever. Oh my god, for real. And for those of you who have decided to stick through spoilers without reading the book anyway, here's what I'm talking about. So at the very end of the book, Cassie gets a phone call, or she calls Lacey and she's like, there's a killer in the FBI. That's the person they're looking for, is the killer. And she's like, I think they're in the FBI. So Lacey tells her, bring Dean, tell him to get the gun, and go put you in a safe room, right? She says that. So Dean and Casey leave. They leave the room with a gun, and they go to hide out somewhere safe. And Michael, nosy ass Michael, sees this happen, and he gets a gun, and he thinks Dean is now the killer, so he goes to confront them and try to kill Dean, and as soon as Cassie mediates the whole situation, somebody shoots Michael. Newsflash, it's not Dean, it's Lacey Locke, because Lacey was the murderer. She was the serial killer who kills everybody in the entire book. I was sexist, and I thought it was a man. I'll admit, it was a woman. It was a woman. We enjoy equal opportunity killers in this household. I could literally go on forever about how much I love this twist and how much I enjoyed the book afterwards, just because, like, the second thing to talk about in this session is the Michael Dean situation. What's going on with that? So, Michael, he's got parental issues. We think it's daddy issues, but we actually do not know. But the first thing we learn about is pretty telling. It's that he is a really weird person who is constantly shifting focus between Leah and Cassie. No love for Salome though. No love for your girl Salome. Just Leah and Cassie. And I mean, his upbringing is pretty telling. We learn he's a rich boy and his dad committed tax fraud or gambling or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but his parents did bad things and they're probably in prison, and the only reason that their son is not an orphan is because he signed up with the fucking FBI. And Dean, son of a fucking serial killer. Where is the FBI finding these people? For real, what the fuck? But yeah, Dean, little poor boy Dean, God, I love him. He's the son of a serial killer. And the FBI saw that and they were like, huh, do you think you could pretend to be a serial killer every day to help us solve cold cases? And Dean was like, I'm 12. And the FBI was like, we said what we said. I mean, you can see it in the way that he acts, that he talks, that he processes information. This boy is troubled, and I want him in therapy. I want all of them in therapy right f***ing now. Now, Leah. I wasn't going to talk about Leah, but we might as well talk about Leah because she just loves it when we talk about her. I can't tell if I really fucking hate her or if I really like her. I think I hate her because honestly, she's nosy, she flip-flops, and she is just the fucking worst. I wish I knew why she was the way she is, because we literally get almost nothing out of her backstory. I don't even know what's going on with her parents. All I do know is that she is nosy as shit and she cannot mind her fucking business. I mean, she's great because she can spot a lie on anybody, but she's also a compulsive liar. I love that checks, but man, oh man. But every character that is in this book works in the situation that they are put in, and I think it's great. I think the author did such a great job. But boy, do I have opinions. And no, we won't go into Salome, because the story glosses over her anyway. This poor autistic child. Am I gonna get canceled for saying that? She's like clearly autistic, by the way. It's never stated in the book, but like, I'm not making this shit up. She is. Or maybe it was just the audiobook version. That being said, spoilers is now over. I hope there's not discourse in the comments because, good lord, I suspect that there would be if anybody watched these things. Welcome back to everybody who was gone and everyone who stayed. We are moving forward into a little information about the author. Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Let's get into it. Jennifer Lynn Barnes is a woman who has gone hard on her career ever since she started. This woman has done everything. She has done everything. She was a cheerleader, she was a model, she's a writer, she was a researcher. But in the end, she did decide on writer. But can you believe this woman was also a model? I mean, look at her. She's great. What the hell? I wish I was 1/8 as interesting as this woman. I wish that I could accomplish 1/14 of what this woman has accomplished. She wrote her first book in which she said, quote, "Nobody will ever see," back in high school. Back in high school, she was writing books. She loves to focus on mysterious puzzle-solving books, so that's cool. Puzzle might seem like a weird word until you realize that she also wrote the Inheritance games, so that's cool. And the Inheritance games and the Naturals are both mysterious puzzle books. So, you tell me if I was wrong. She has written 28 books in total, and that means if she published one book a year, she had been publishing books for 6 years longer than I have been alive. She started with her book Tattoo back in 2007, and she finished with the final book, I think, of the Inheritance games, which came out in 2023. She is an incredible woman who has done so much, and I am so excited to hear more about her in the future. And that is really all I have to say about this woman. But yeah, guys, if you like that video, maybe like and subscribe. There's always more books to watch on my channel, and if you're interested, I'm coming out with another amazing book review in 2 weeks, so please subscribe to find out that one. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Alright, goodbye!